I've been looking at these mini split systems again, and in Colorado I had one that was a pretty good efficiency rating. If you go down to Walmart and you buy just an off-the-shelf unit, it's usually going to be rated in a SEER, and I think it's spelled SEER, and I think it stands for something like Seasonal Energy Efficiency Ratio or something to that effect. So the higher the SEER number, the more efficient that the unit runs. So if you go to Walmart and you buy one, it's going to have a SEER rating usually of around 12 or 13. Occasionally you'll find one that has a SEER rating of 15. When I lived in Colorado, I had a system there that was a SEER 19, and I was really happy with it. It got pretty efficient. We'd use it for heating the house in the wintertime. So it would start out drawing like 1200 watts when you'd first turn it on. And once the house would get up to the temperature you wanted, that power would start coming down. And once it got to where it was just maintaining the temperature in the house, it'd just sit there and run about, maybe 400 or 500 watts. So when we moved to Hawaii, I ordered this other unit, and it's a SEER 38. Ta-da! And that's pretty. That was the highest efficiency that I could find anywhere. And so I've gotten this unit installed, and I'll take you through that in this video. But what I really like about this unit is that it pulls a lot of moisture out of the air. I was amazed at how much water it pulls out of the air. It's like this almost running water out of the drain on it, and you'll get to see that in a little bit. But when it starts up at first and we're really just punching out, wanting to cool the house down, it pulls a little over a kilowatt, maybe 1100 watts. And then once it starts maintaining that temperature that we want in the house, it runs about 120 to 200 watts. I'm really impressed with it. It's to the point now that I've got it set at 74 degrees, air drying only, and it runs 24/7 off grid, and I've got a small 300 amp hour battery bank, and it's amazing. I'm absolutely thrilled with it. So I hope that this video is not too boring to you, but I'm going to install this system. I'm not a licensed refrigeration or trained refrigeration dude. I'm just an average Joe that messes around with stuff until it works. And one of the things that is very important on these refrigerated systems, you have to draw the lines down using a vacuum, and that helps remove the moisture out of the lines. Well, here in Fern Forest in Hawaii, we run 99% humidity 99% of the time. So getting moisture out of there is pretty important, or something that you want to try to do. Just keep stuff inside the house from mildewing and molding and all that kind of stuff. So that's the main reason we've got it. Plus, I kind of want to sleep better whenever the air is dry and cool. So I'm going to go through this now, and appreciate you joining me, and welcome along for the ride. So this is the indoor unit for the heat pump, and I'm going to start installing it today, get at least the bracket put up on the wall. And the bracket is on the back side. I have to remove it first. Try to rescue that screw. Alright. Okay, so Sam and I got the unit up there, and forgot to start the record on the camera before we did that. But anyway, he helped me lift it up there, and we got the bolts started. I just got to finish bolting it down. Alright, I have this new phone thingy here, my little headband holder. That way you can look and see what I'm doing as well as I can. Hopefully. We're going to see how this works. I know I look funny, but hey, we're here to do work, not look good. Okay, so this is the neutral, and I'm thinking these two are signals, but anyway, let's see here. What does it call them? So 2 and 3, and then ground. So obviously we'll use the green for ground. We'll use the white for in, which is their common, I guess, but we'll use white since that's neutral for American standards. And then it does say to use the black for the number 2 wire. So I'm going to hook that up now. Okay, so there is the wires all connected. Now I'm going to put the strain relief onto the wires here and then put the cover on. Okay, and there's the cover put on over the wiring. And so the inside unit is now ready to go. Now I think I'm going to test this line. Make sure it hasn't been leaking through the night or anything. Okay. Okay, the reason that I know this leak has stopped is because I'm not hearing that metallic sound inside of the pump anymore. That metallic sound means that it's still pulling a vacuum out, and where it doesn't have that metallic chattering sound, I can tell that my pipes are all sealed properly now. That's my fluid level, and it looks like it's doing pretty good. So I'm going to let that sit there for a bit. Pull that vacuum down really good, and then we'll open up the Freon and see how it works. Alright. Got a power light. Okay, so that is the heat pump. It's set at 68 degrees. And it's pretty chilly in here. And it's running pretty much full blast. So we're going to look at the power consumption here. And it is using 480 watts roughly, and that's even with other things in the house running. So we average about 150 watts a day. So I would say that that heat pump is using about 300 watts of power right now to operate. And to give you an idea of how much humidity this thing pulls out of the air, that's what the deck looks like. You can see the water dripping, and I've just got the pipe just sticking through the wall at the moment, but you can see how that water just, I mean, it's not running like a faucet, but I mean, that's what's coming out of the air, and that's a lot of water. Okay, now the app on this is, it's the Gree app, and what I do like about it is that, you know, it's very user friendly. I don't know how well you can see this here, but I can change these temperatures anywhere I want. I usually leave it at 73 degrees and in drying mode only. You've got all these other functions here, like that's cooling, automatic, and then these little things that click up here, I really don't like those. But anyway, I keep it on drying mode most of the time. And you can change the temperature up here, and then this is your fan speed here. So I can change the fan to any of these speeds here. And I like that real well too. This little banner here in gray pops up on everything, and it doesn't ever go away. I don't like that, but it is what it is. And then you've got all of these other little features here. You've got air, which I'm not sure what that is. X-fan, I don't even remember what that is. I read about it. And then you've got the health thing, the light, which is just the temperature display on the front of the unit. You've got this saving energy mode, which has a little dollar sign. And then your louvers, you can control the air going up and down or left or right, all remotely. So if I hit this, you can see that I've got it where it's going up and down in 3 different zones, but never all the way down, because it's usually blowing cool air. And then left and right, I just have that fixed, so it's not really going any direction. Just shoots straight out. And then the sleep mode, I don't remember what that is either. The 46 degrees Fahrenheit heating mode that's right here. I think that's just to make sure the house doesn't ever get below freezing. And then a timer before it, so you could have it run for a certain amount of time and then turn off. And then this centigrade or Celsius Fahrenheit control here, it does nothing. It will not change it between Fahrenheit and Celsius. I have to do that using the remote that came with the unit. But other than that, I really like this because if we have a really hot day and I'm downtown, I can run this down really low, turn it on to air conditioning, and I can control it from anywhere. So that's kind of nice. I do like that.